Good evening, everybody. Quickly, my name is Wongama Baleni. I'm one of the co-founders of Department of Coffee. The Department of Coffee is a first artisan coffee shop that we started in 2012, 2nd of July, right in Khayelitsha, in the township, bringing the real coffee in the township, whereby there was no actually coffee culture, there was no coffee existing in the township. So the model when we started when we had a challenge of a Me Too market that we're facing, which is a lot of businesses that are in a township are doing the same thing. So we did a research actually, what could we do to make a change and bring economy right in the township. So those are our outlets right in the township. We've got a main shop right in the township, and we've got the mobile store as well in the township. So regard that, this is an experience that we have from 2012 up to 2017, which is, we opened the first shop in 2012, which is initially we convinced, it was hard to convince people from locally to get into or tapped into coffee culture, but we have managed to do it. Which is when we've done it, actually we've got a lot of exposure regarding that because we have bring something, actually a lot of people were said that that's not gonna work in the township, which is 95% of people were saying coffee is not gonna work in the township. So, but we decided to bring it. And then around there, we opened up 2 more coffee shops, so which is we had 4 coffee shops around Cape Town, which is we had the one pop-up shop in Cape Town CBD and the other one in Philippi Village. But regard that line, because we had no business education or workshops or studies, so we decided to take a gap year, which is we went to University of Stellenbosch, both with my business partner, and then we go study, which is, it leads us to close the 2 shops that we had and live with 2 because it was actually too much, too soon, so we decided to close those businesses and have 2-1. And then from there, we actually grow the brand, and then we get an awareness. We were mentioned on the Cape Talks as a post-delicious coffee shop that makes a great coffee in Cape Town CBD. And then from there, last year, we started innovation of actually bringing coffee backpackers, which is we actually went to Thunder Fund crowdfunding, which is we had a funding actually from Thunder Fund, and then we bought up coffee backpackers, which is you can make coffee everywhere you want to go, even into the sports field. From there, what we see the challenge is that from the people that we actually employed through the backpackers, the challenge was that they were only youth in the township, which is they only actually go to work and then that's it. So they didn't put a lot of effort into the business. So which is our customers around there, it's a township local resident people, and then it's a tourist people that actually comes into our coffee shop, which is what we decided. We actually form up a Department of Coffee Academy, whereby we train youth to be professional coffee makers. The challenge that we had from there, again, it was they actually want to go and work. So we decided the whole thing that let's train them to be professional coffee makers, and then let's train them to be entrepreneurs, to give them an innovation that actually they can actually wake up and come to us, and then we do. So what now we actually here for, we actually want to set up 2 coffee shops for the Department of Coffee, and then when we set up 2 coffee shops, we'll take 3 people, and then they actually own the business after they pay the money that we're going to fund into the business as a Department of Coffee. So those are our financial projection that actually we've did for the whole project if we actually enter the project. Thank you.
I couldn't pick up what social, what problem are you solving with this? Maybe can you highlight that to us quickly?
Okay. So what we're highlighting here is that a lot of people in the township are unemployed, and then a lot of youth is hanging around, is actually into crime, is into drugs, and there's no potential stuff to do around the township. So as actually a business owners, we decided to put an innovation into our business. And then we train this youth, and then we give them a micro-franchise because there's no person that as a youth in a township will be able to buy a franchise of Virai Cafe. So as a Department of Coffee, we want to be the first pilot actually to give an opportunity to own a business right in the township. So that's how we want to actually motivate them around the township, because we believe if we give them a stake into our business, they will actually put a lot of effort to wake up and do it.
Just in terms of the business models for the micro franchise, I think you just skipped that slide quite quickly. Maybe just unpack what someone that sets up a franchise would be able to make.
Okay, so our foundation is going to actually to set up a store, and then after we set up a store, we take 3 people into the store, and then when they actually run the store, we will actually take some of the money, what actually they're making per month, until what we founded to them, it's getting into the amount that we give to them. So from there, after they finish to pay the money, they will actually own the business 100%.
Nice presentation, Wongani.
Thank you.
Quick question from my side. You said prior to you going to Stellenbosch, taking the gap year in the business, there were a lot of operational issues around scaling too quickly. Can you just say what some of those issues and shortcomings that you had were in the business?
Thank you. The biggest issues that we had no background education about business. So when we had 4 shops, we couldn't be able to scale how we're going to actually to put our brand out there. So we had no financial background. So when we take a gap year, we wanted to get an understanding of actually how do we make our business to take it into another level. And then if we're planning to franchise, how are we going to actually to be able to franchise our business? If there's actually a person that was interested into our brand, who wants to actually to build our brand with us, we had to understand and education actually what that person will be saying that I want to actually invest into your business. This is what I want to do into your business. So what actually leads us to there exactly is to get an information about business so that we can actually grow our business. So that is why we bring this model of actually let's put an impact into our community to make sure that we raise capital around the youth.
Can I ask you just quickly 2 minutes on your size of your team, and then of those, the guys that you've been training in your academy, how many of them are also, how much money is being made in the township, and how many of them as entrepreneurs are actually going into urban areas and selling, or are they limited to selling in that area?
Mainly, we actually train 30 people. And then 50% of those 30 people actually were able to get jobs in a CBD. And then 50% couldn't be able to get jobs. So which is, it did a recycle because they had to come back now with the skill that we actually spend into them and the time that we spent into them and then come back and sit in our community. You know? So that is why now we want to actually push into the motivation and then we innovate them. And secondly, out of those 30 people, actually each and every month to motivate them, we actually pay them a stipend cash of 1,000 rand to make them to come into the training, because what we have realized from the township, youth actually are unemployed.